Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next lecture in our systematic review course. This lecture will be on literature search using the three databases that we will focus on, which will be Cochrane, Scopus, and Web of Science. So, in this particular lecture, we will be focusing on three things. First would be the aim of our literature search. Then, second would be the systematic approach to searching. And third would be how to use the databases that we have named earlier, right? So talking about the aim. So you understand that any particular topic, let's say tuberculosis, will yield endless results when you search about it on Google Scholar or any database, right? So, but you cannot go through millions of papers, right? So your aim for literature search should be saving time by restricting the absolute number of titles and increase the number of relevant titles. In that way, you will reduce the numbers you will need to read for your literature search. Does that make sense, right? Uh, we will, this should be our aim, and then we will strategize on how to reach this aim. Then I want to talk a bit about all the three databases that I mentioned. The first one is, of course, Scopus. If you have any experience and research whatsoever, you would be already be familiar with these databases. If not, today is a good place to start. So about Scopus, it is an abstract and citation database. So it will be primarily having the abstract and the citations, the papers that this particular uh, that you will be reading, how many times it has been cited, right? So it covers diverse disciplines like science, technology, medicine, social science, and arts. It provides tool for citation analysis in the sense that how many people have cited this particular paper. You can do so for your own papers also. So that's one of the added benefits of Scopus. And it typically requires a subscription, and access is often provided through institutional libraries. Now, why is that? Is as you can see that this Scopus is a huge database. It is covering so many diverse disciplines, right? So to maintain such a huge database would require a lot of work, and there would be a lot of work going in to maintain the database, and it's only fair that they have a fees for the services they provide. But these fees are borne by institutions like your university where you are studying at, a research company, a pharmaceutical company, private hospitals, which are also research centers. So these institutional institutions pay the subscription fees, and the members of the institution can access them. Then the second database in question is Cochrane. So Cochrane focuses on evidence-based healthcare. So I think this is the cornerstone of medicine today. We practice evidence-based medicines. Every treatment, diagnosis, every examination should be well supported by tests and uh, other type of evidences, right? So same is with our scientific studies also. So this Cochrane is why it is special is because it includes the Cochrane database of systematic reviews. Since this course is all systematic reviews, Cochrane holds a special significance for us because it specializes in systematic reviews and meta-analysis, and it provides rigorous methodology for comprehensive evidence analysis. We have added a link for you to check it out, and in our coming lectures, we hope to go through in more detail in this regard. The next would be the Web of Science. So it's similar to Scopus. It is also a multidisciplinary citation database. It includes Science Citation Index and offers citation indexing for impact assessment. Similar to Scopus, access to Web of Science usually requires the subscription. So we already had that discussion. But this particular database offers citation indexing for impact assessment. So, like, if you can see that if you are seeing 10 papers on a particular topic, you can see how many times they are cited. So that can, it can give you an idea of the kind of impact these papers had in the when they got added to the literature. So, moving on, we will be now reaching the second part of what we intend to with our literature search. So we want to develop a systematic approach to searching to fulfill our aim of saving time and reducing the number of papers we need to read. So how are gonna do that? We are gonna do that through a search strategy. The first thing we are gonna do is we are gonna use our particular knowledge of the research question, and we will be enhancing it with logic and creativity. So, as I said, the first thing you would need would be a good research question. What will be the components of a good research question? First would be a population, second would be the outcome, third would be the determinant and exposure. We will take an example in the coming slides to tell you how to frame a question like that. And the third thing that we have to be aware about is having that yeah, the English is, since it's a vast language, each term could have several synonyms, right? So we have to keep this in mind, and we have to be aware of the difference in UK US spelling. uh, Before I show you how to form a search strategy, I need you to understand what are Boolean operators, because that is very important in our search strategy. So the first Boolean operator is AND. And means that if I ask you a question, like if uh, whether a paper has terminologies A and B, then the answer will be yes only if it has both A and B. The second operator would be OR. The answer A or B would say be yes in either case, whether only if A is available in the uh, paper and B is available, right? And even if both is available, then also it will give you answer yes. We will see that in the examples. Do not worry if you're hearing it for the first time, just hear me out. And the final would be not operator. So the not operator, what it will do is the first term, it will be required to give an answer yes, and the second term shouldn't be there to give the answer yes. For example, here it says pig, not Guyana. So if I am going to search a paper uh, which is doing a study on pigs, it will give me answer yes only if that paper doesn't have a guana in it. If it has a guana, it won't give me that yes. So this operator helps us in excluding certain things. So all these are very, very useful. And if you haven't gotten hang of it, not to worry. We are going to get more examples to make you understand that. Okay. So now the search study. So what are your, we know that your research question has three components, right? So we will be forming four components. The first component would be you will be typing the population or its synonyms. For example, let's say our hypothetical research question is about tuberculosis patients, and we are going to find out whether rifampicin or isoniazid is better, which is better, like whose efficacy is better in tuberculosis patient. So in this regard, our population is tuberculosis patient. Our determinant or exposure here is isoniazid and rifampicin in those patients, given to those patients, and the outcome is the efficacy, like how well they treated the tuberculosis. Now this is an hypothetical question. You don't have to go into like whether it's a legit question or not. I'm just trying to explain you what is population determination and outcome mean, right? So, so in this example, our first component would be the population, tuberculosis patients, or synonyms, whatever you can find. Tuberculosis, you can synonym could be TB. We usually write TB for tuberculosis. Uh, so things like that. Determinant or synonym. So rifampicin, isoniazid, uh, we can find if they have multiple names. Outcome, efficacy. So efficacy also could have multiple terminologies. Then the fourth component would be to combining the first three components with AND operator. Now I want to bring your attention that in the first three components we had used the OR Boolean operator, which means we either want the population, tuberculosis, or its synonym. It doesn't have to have both. Either would work for us. But in our final search component, we need the AND uh, Boolean operator. So it requires both all the three components: the population, search strategy for population, search strategy for dependent, determinant, and search strategy for the outcome. Right? Let's go ahead and see the example for it. Okay, so we begin with the basic search scheme, right? So, as we said that our question would have three components. So, we will be forming a 3 by X matrix. In the first column, we would have the population term and its synonyms, which we will be combining with the Boolean operator or. For example, let's say our population is chest physicians. So the synonyms we can add would be pulmonologist, TB, and sleep medicine specialist, right? So whatever terms you can Google or find from your knowledge, you can add that to this matrix under the column population. Similarly for the term determinant and exposure, and similarly for the term outcome. So in that way you will have a combination which you will combine with the operator and. So this is here it has been shown like the and, where we would be combining all the three with the Boolean operator and the synonyms itself will be combined by the Boolean operator or. Then let's have to understand this better, let's have another example. So our research question states in patients undergoing cardiac surgery, does remote ischemic preconditioning compared to no preconditioning reduces the incidence of myocardial infarction within the postoperative period? Now, this may sound a bit complex, but let's break down the research question in the PICO format. That is the PICO format. The P stands for patient population. Here, our target population is the patients undergoing cardiac surgery. What will be our intervention? Intervention, what we studied was uh, the exposure or determinant. So, that is remote ischemic preconditioning. And who are we comparing with this intervention to? No preconditioning or a control group. So here the intervention and comparison both are part of the exposure or determinant group. Okay. And then the outcome. So the outcome would be that we would be wanting to measure would be the incidence of myocardial infarction within the post-operative period. So when you read the research question in the PICO format, you would be able to understand how we are trying to do here. Now we want to formulate a search strategy, literature search strategy for this particular research question. So how are we going to do that? We are going to do that uh, with the help of the following search strings. So our first research string would be targeting the patient population or its synonyms. So, see here the first search string is cardiac surgery separated by or heart surgery or cardiovascular surgery or cardiac surgical procedure or heart valve surgery or open heart surgery or coronary artery bypass surgery or cardiac revascularization or cardiac bypass surgery. So you can see here we have uh, used the term the all the synonyms of the term cardiac surgery, right? And we have separated them by the Boolean operator or. Now you would ask me how you could get the synonym. So you can use a simple Google search, or you can use Chat GPT, or you can search in your medical dictionaries, right? Then similarly, we would do that with the second component, that would be our intervention and comparison or exposure or determinant. See, here also I'm using the synonyms, right? Exposure or determinant or intervention or comparison. So, like this here, in this regards, there is remote ischemic preconditioning or ischemic treatment or ischemic tolerance or ischemic adaptation or ischemic stress conditioning or ischemic preconditioning or remote ischemic conditioning or preconditioning maneuvers. So that is our second search string. And the third search string which we want is the outcome. So here our outcome would require myocardial infarction, heart attack or MI or myocardial ischemia or ischemic heart disease or acute coronary syndrome or coronary event. So we have recognized three separate search strings that we are going to combine with the Boolean operator AND. So with this, when you enter into the database with this search string, it will give you all the relevant papers that target your research question. So now, first thing we would see is how to search in Scopus. So see, this is the website of Scopus. Here you can see the where we have marked in red that search within article title, abstract, and keywords. And within that option near is advanced document search. So we want to go there. And if you would remember that I told you about Scopus, that this is a citation and abstract database. So here we can only search within the keywords, abstract, and article titles. Let's see what happens if we go to the advanced document search. So this page will come up. So here we will search using the title, abstract, and keywords. There are different components you can search for, but this is the one which is most suitable for literature search, which is we want to search papers using their title, abstract, and the keywords that are coded to them. Then here you will enter the query string. So you will in the bracket you will add the search string that we would have gotten using the strategy that we devised, and then you will click on search. So then the search results will show you the relevant articles. So in this particular search string, we have found 389 documents, right? And see, this Scopus, it highlights the year when the paper is published. So it shows you how recent it is and how many times it has been cited. So that it tells you about the impact assessment, right? And on the left bar, there is also a subject area where you can choose if you want to select papers from a particular discipline like medicine, biochemistry, genetics, and molecular biology. So, relevant subject areas would also you can use them to narrow down your papers. Then there are additional filters, right? So one filter could be document type. So you want an original article, you want a conference paper, you want an editorial, a letter to the editor, or a review study, right? You could also select language. I think that's less relevant, but it could help a lot for the non-native speakers, non-native English speakers. Then you can also search by country and territory. I think these are all very important if you understand your population type is very specific. Like you could say the patients of cardiac surgery in India. So there kind of this filters can come into use. Then there was the filter called ear and many more. The more you play around with these things, the more you will understand how they may help. Then our favorite part, we would need to export the results. So this here you can see once in the near the all option there is an export, and you can export this in the following file types. You can for with CSV, RIS, etc. Plain text also you can do that, and you can even use softwares like Mendeley, Zotero, EndNote. So these are the particular softwares that are used to manage references. So that is very helpful also. So we have finally decided to export to, and the file type would be CSV. And what information, now you can select what information do you want to export. So we want the citation information, we want the author's name, we want the document title, we want the year, we want the publication stage, we want the date of indexing, we want the PubMed ID of the paper, language of the original document, abstract, author, keywords, right? So we can select what all information we need from the papers and we can use export. Then the same thing we are showing how to search the literature and in Web of Science. So here it is almost similar only. Here also there is an option for advanced search, which is highlighted in this current slide. Then the preview is we can add terms to the query preview, topics, add items to the query preview. So we will be selecting add terms to the query preview, and in the topic you will copy paste the search string that we have done here, cardiac surgery or heart surgery or cardiovascular surgery, right? So here you can choose the fields you want to search. I would recommend topic. This would pull up articles that contain the search terms in the title, abstract, and author keywords of the document. So similar to what we did with the Scopus. Then again, Web of Science also offers additional filters. These are the particular filters. Some are same as the Scopus, some are different. If you play around a bit, you will like most likely understand them better. Then we did the same search in Web of Science. The same query we typed and we got 141 results. Now you can see that these are the numbers are highly different from Scopus because Scopus is much wider database. Then quick filters here also they have publication years, quick filters, and citation analysis, like how many times this this paper has been cited and how many references that paper has used, right? Here also you can select. Now you can go through the titles. You can select the papers that you feel are most relevant to your research question. You can select them and you can export them, similar to what we did with the Scopus. If you want, you can also use all papers to export. And what do you want in that export record? You want the author, title, source, and abstract. And here is the custom selection, export selection also, same as Scopus. Now, what you want is very dependent on what kind of information you are looking for in your systematic review. So that is why they provide these many options. Then the third and the highly coveted database, Cochrane. So this Cochrane library also shows you an advanced search option similar to the Scopus and Web of Science. Here also you can use the title abstract keyword method, enter your search query and run search. Now, the best part about Cochrane is that this caters particularly to the systematic reviews and meta analysis, right? So here you would see when you see the results, it shows Cochrane reviews. So it shows that how many systematic reviews have been conducted in this topic, how many clinical trials, Cochrane protocols, and everything. Like so, this is like a bit advanced version, and specifically caters to the study that we are interested in, systematic review. Then you can choose the source of your papers. There it provides the access to database of PubMed, MBIS, CT.gov, ICTRP, right? And language. Then date added to central trial database. So then you find 99 uh, papers trials matching your search string. So you can select all and export the selected citations in the same format, that is CSV, which is Excel, and then you click on download. If you click on include abstract, so the abstract would also be uh, part of your downloaded file. So I think this I have quickly taken you through three databases and how to use them for literature search. I hope this was useful. I hope you like form your own research questions and run this exercise a couple more times through all the three databases and see the differences that comes up. And I hope you enjoy this process. Thank you and have a nice day.